Hello guys, that is Panagon. I'm here again with another video, and today we are looking at the Dark Seal event, all the rules and such that I wanted to talk about, some of the secret stuff that you won't actually know from looking at this, and I will try to do my best to make this video as quick as possible and just explain everything that I know here so you guys aren't going in blinded. So to start, I will just talk about the matching. So matchmaking is the process of 3 days. The first day you are just registering. The second day you actually get registered, and it's the matchmaking process where they're figuring out who your opponents are. And then the third day, it's going to be you actually, I guess, seeing who your enemies are and you figuring out, okay, do I want to ally with these guys, blah 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 blah, right? I will say that it is a three-way event, meaning 3 alliances, right? And I do think that this should maybe have a change, maybe 4 alliances or just possibly even 1v1. I feel like not 3 alliances, but regions. I feel the big issue with this is if 2 regions gang up on one, it just makes it super hard for that one said region to win. You know, if it's just a 1v2 compared to maybe having a possibility of just making it a 2v2 being a bit more fair. I just thought I'd mention that real quick. It is a 2-day period of battling. And I will talk about some of the important stuff real quick, which will be there is an 85% return rate. And I will say that this has a possibility of dropping because in our first island raid, if you guys don't know, it was 80 to 85%. I can't remember which one it was, but it was much higher return rate back then. And I think it might have been because it was in a testing period, a testing process. So do note that this could possibly change, right, to maybe being, let's say, 65% now, right? But the thing that I know so far is 85%. You also have a protection on how many resources your base can get rated. So it's like 5 million food, 5 million wood, 2.5 million steel, I think like 1 million something oil, and it kind of caps you from actually looting more from somebody like that. That being said, you also have double hospital capacity, and you have a heavily wounded troop reduction, meaning that it's honestly way better to be defending and stuff because you're getting such better trades because of the heavily wounded troops being reduced and stuff. So just note that that's honestly extremely insane, you know. And like I said, double hospital capacity. My normal one's 400k up to 800k now. There was also another thing I wanted to tell you guys about. It's in the rules somewhere, but I will just tell you guys. So after your base is burned, you have I think it's an 8-hour shield that pops up on your base, and there is a cooldown period. I think you can't you can't pop it right after you get burned and it insta pop you back up. I think there's like a 1-minute cooldown period between each time your shield can pop, but that's not the big thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to say this thing, and I'm not trying to cause chaos. I'm not trying to get people to use this exploit. And the thing is, I still would use it, right? Like I'm not an angel. I would still use this exploit. I mean, everybody's going to use it no matter what. It's just the smart thing to do. But basically, if you know, the thing is, the concept going in was, okay, if you know your base is burning, it's going to insta shield you, so I'm basically safe because these guys can't zero me, right? So a lot of people felt really good and really safe, and I wanted to just say this because I really want people to actually look out for themselves. But there is a method to get around this, and I should have a video posted by the time this video comes out. But basically, you can have 5 marches around your base, right? And you can go until the bar hits red. And if you guys don't know, when you're like attacking something, here, let me pop an account on one of these things real quick so I can give you guys an example. But basically, you guys probably already know, but let's say when you're hitting a zombie, right, the health bar goes down from green to yellow to red, and the thing is about that, right, and here, let me actually hit this real quick just so you guys can see real quick. So I'm hitting this, and the health bar obviously will start going down to green to yellow to red, and when that bar hits about red 10%ish, whatever, you want to stop hitting that thing and you want to walk away. And then when you walk away, like you just saw there, the thing recovers basically, and it you know, the health bar kind of goes back to full. But the thing is, you're gonna have those injuries anyways. But the thing is, those lightly wounded that were put in your hospital, or not put in your hospital, sorry, those lightly wounded that weren't actually put into your hospital and just put to the side, they're going to come back into battle, and you just keep repeating this process as you fill up a hospital, and you can basically get a 0 without actually burning the player. And I wanted to just say that so people can know to make sure you're actually being safe and you're shielding yourself, because you are still at risk. There is another thing I want to talk about. You have these checkpoints that are locked during the event period, and anybody invading can only invade into your zone. There are also dark relocators, and I'll talk about that in a second. But you can teleport behind these checkpoints if you feel that, like for example, your opponent is overwhelming or you just don't want to get zeroed, whatever it is, you can port behind these checkpoints. Your enemy will not be able to get you. I also want to note that you will not be able to send squads through the checkpoints. It doesn't matter if you own it or not. And the only way to transverse back and forth is by using territory. So even if I have a dark relocator, for example, and I'm sitting, let's say over here, right? And I want to teleport onto my friend PLW's territory because they're getting attacked. Well, if there's a guy right here attacking my friend right here, I can't just use the dark relocator. And normally the dark relocator works, but if you're outside territory, you first have to teleport into your territory, and then you have to use that relocator to port into, let's say, PLW's territory. Of course, you could always join their alliance, but I wanted to mention this real quick because this is something that actually had confused me a bit, and I thought that this might be important to learn. And you guys see the bar right there. Also, the dark relocators are right here, and yeah, I mean, you can use them to teleport wherever. I also want to note that you can buy them in the shop for 2.5k gems. There are also other methods to obtain these. During the event, there will be a vast amount of quests, and I think you can maybe get, this is just an estimate, but let's say around 10 dark relocators possibly from these quests. One quest being just invading into the region, another quest, which that one gives you 2. Another quest which gives you dark relocators for killing so and so many zombies. Another one for getting so and so many kill points, for getting so and so many injuries or losses or whatever it is, right? But that is basically the premise of it, and I wanted to just go through that real quick so you guys had a general understanding of how that worked. Now we will go through the rules, and I'll tell you guys about that. Oh yeah, let me actually go through this real quick. So I do want to note that this event will be a 2-day event, and when the event starts, you will have your metro shield up, and your metro is going to have a 3 million capacity. But basically, this event is for 2 days. Your metro shields for 1 day, and it says it in the event somewhere, the catalog. But I wanted to note that because I feel like a lot of us were actually prepared to defend our metro off the bat, and we didn't know that nobody could take it right away. Okay, so only regions with a president before the start of the matchmaking period may participate in the event. That obviously means you have to have a metro. The president has to be like, yeah, let's do this. You can invade a region that is your assigned battlefield. So obviously you cannot invade, let's say, region 1 if your opponents aren't region 1, right? You can only invade the central zone, which is zone 3. Like I said, you're safe behind the checkpoints. So level 3 checkpoints will be locked during the event period. You can't pass through these checkpoints, and the use of specific relocators will be restricted, not totally cut off, but you can use them if you're teleporting onto Alliance territory, and that's the only way to transverse through these checkpoints. So do note that. You can leave the locked area, and I'm sorry about my dog, guys. You can leave the locked area through other relocation methods, such as, like I said, using territory. You can choose to invade a region or return to your region on the event interface, and the rules are as follows. Dark relocators will not be consumed for your first invasion. So if I wanted to go to region, 1 right now, and that was my opponent, it wouldn't take a dark relocator for the first move. But after that, if I want to leave that region or if I want to invade the other region, right, it will start to cost me 1 dark relocator. And I also want to mention that these dark relocators can ignore Alliance territory for your enemies as well. So so the thing is, you're going to be moving to the region for 1 dark relocator, and then it costs another one to move to where you want, unless it's, obviously unoccupied land, which is really hard to find in good spots. Because, like for example here, I mean, in some regions there is absolutely no area to move, but you could use a specific relocator here, and that's just, it's kind of inefficient. And I mean, we probably should fill in these spots to force people to spend more gems. But yeah, that's basically the premise of it, and it's costing you basically 2 when you want to invade a region and such. Sorry, as I lost myself. So you do not need to consume any items when you return. So it doesn't cost anything to go back to your region. It will port you down into your zone 1, by the way. And I do want to note something real quick that I noticed. Let's say you pop a 1-day shield and you invade a region. It instantly gives you a 8-hour shield for your first move. And that is just really annoying. And I wanted to note that because it's stupid, because it removes your if you have a 30-day shield on, it will remove your 30-day shield and it will replace it with that 8-hour shield, and it's kind of annoying. I hope they fix that. If you have a longer shield, they fix that. That's kind of stupid to me. It will also show your enemies, the enemy regions, as red, and it will show your allies within your region as orange players. Uh, Dark Relocator. I think I talked about this. You can take over the metros after 1 day. So, like I said, you have 2 days for this event. Your metro will be shielded for the first day of the event, and after that day, it will drop the shield, and you can take over metros. And for however long you hold so and so many metros, it will give you 120 glory points every minute to your region, and I think alliance maybe. But you guys see it here. Glory points. You want those to, I guess, win in general. But honestly, the rewards are pretty bad for that, and I'll talk about the rewards in a little bit. But I do want to say real quick while I'm talking about the rewards, I want to note that the rewards are kind of mediocre. And since I'm talking about it now, I'll just look at these. But I do want to note that the rewards are kind of mediocre, and the only reason you would participate is just for the fun of it, for Top Commander maybe, because this did cross into our kill event in Top Commander. And I do want to say, I hope that this isn't every other week with every single Top Commander, and I hope this is maybe spread out a bit into maybe every month, every other Top Commander, because if you do have controlled TCs, or if you just have a lot of free-to-play players who want to place, this will make it really hard for them. So I do hope that they kind of maintain it not being too bad. I just hope that this event isn't going to be like totally just crushing. But yeah, the region rewards are pretty bad, honestly. Going for first place, not really worth it. Even if you defend your I do want to actually show you guys real quick a metro that we took over. I do want to say that even if you lose your metro, it honestly isn't a big deal, and you guys can see it right here, but it is basically a 2-day timer. You get this thing locked down, and the metro will return to an uncaptured state when the countdown ends, meaning that these people should hopefully be able to take it back. There are possibilities of the event changing, by the way, with maybe time, and only time will tell, but I'm giving you guys the best impression I have of our first event for it. I will say personal rewards are pretty good, and this does encourage maybe getting first place. Alliance rewards are somewhat good, I guess, considering these cost 2.5k gems each. They are honestly really, really good to have, but overall, I think this event is just a big burn. They're trying to make you burn through all your freaking speed ups before island. But yeah, I wouldn't overcommit in this event. If you think that the opponent you're facing is overwhelming and there's no shot for you to defend, I think it's better for you to honestly back up to zone 2, keep your bases safe and whatnot. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I guess we can continue to look. You get kill points for you get glory points for killing troops. You get them for killing zombies in the enemy region, killing hive minds in the enemy region, and gathering in the enemy region. And you also get very few points for garrisoning metros. So I would just send one troop if I was going to sleep or something. I mean, the points are pretty mediocre, but why not? But yeah, you can only get these points by doing these in the enemy region though, except for the kill point part. Metro thing, it says it right here, but at the start of the event, the metro will enter a pre-word protection period. During this period, the rules are as follows. Garrison limit is increased to 3 million, and all alliances in the region can garrison it. So it is good to have your alliances actually surrounding metro, like multiple alliances built up to it if possible. The limit goes from 2 million to 3 million. I will say that if you are defending it before metro, because this actually caught me off guard, we were sitting in the metro, right, and it sent all of our troops back home right when the event started. So do note that you don't have to be in it right away, and even then you still have a 1-day protection period on it, but it does go up to 3 million and stuff. The region that is invading can... Okay, so Federation officials may change the garrison squad leader. I had changed, and I am an R4 of Boone, obviously, and normally if I'm, let's say, changing the garrison captain in a tower, it will let me, but in the metro, I could not do that, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, as I wasn't a, law enforcement at the time, but I think that if you are a law enforcement, you have a law enforcement title, you are able to change who is the garrison captain, so I think your president needs to be very mindful of that, though I can't say with 100% certainty this is a fact. So do note this and be mindful and just be careful and try to test that out actually at the start of the event, because I can't confirm it, but I will try to say it in the comment section if that does change. I will also say about the kill ratio once I figure it out, if the return ratio, if that goes down at all, I would try to put that in the comment section whenever this video is posted or whenever I get around to it. So when the protection period ends, it can be attacked. All invading alliances can ignore territory rules, meaning that you don't have to be actually attached to it to attack it, obviously. You're not building towers into it. A federation can deploy up to 3 rally squads at a time, meaning that if you have 3 alliances, I guess, in the federation, they can send up to 3 rallies. And I do want to note that this is kind of OP for attackers, but at the same time, you also got to consider spreading your rally captains into 3 alliances, and then having people in all those alliances who are able to fill the rallies and keep them full is a little bit hard. But if you are able to take this at face value, it means that as a defender, you have 3 million troops versus a possible 6 million to even 12 million if you have 2 federations working together to take over Metro, which is kind of insane if you ask me. All alliances of the region can garrison it, so any alliance that is around it can send garrisons to your metro. When the metro is lost, all alliances of the region can participate in the recapture of the metro. I say metro, by the way, because I'm scuffing the name, but yeah, the region that has captured the metro will have to defend it, and you'll basically get glory points over time, which I think we talked about. And I think that's about it to the event. Honestly, I mean, all this stuff is, the rest of this is kind of stuff I already mentioned. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys for watching. I do hope you guys got something out of this video, and I do hope I went over everything that needed to be said. If I did miss anything, I will try to put it in the comment section. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys as always for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. And that is about it. Peace.